Gentlemen, aviation enthusiasts, and curious minds alike. Welcome to the thrilling mini-series that will take you soaring through the skies called What Makes This Plane Great. Now, as I spoke about a German multi-role aircraft in the last What Makes This Plane Great episode, I thought it's about time I spoke about a British multi-role aircraft that a lot of people consider the best multi-role aircraft of the war. So the plane I'm going to talk about today is the British twin Merlin engine aircraft, the de Havilland Mosquito. So what makes this not easy to fly aircraft great? Well, the fact it could fly at speeds over 390 miles per hour meant it was just as fast as some of the war's best fighters, and it could carry the same bomb load as a B-17 Flying Fortress. The main thing that makes the Mosquito the legendary aircraft it is was how versatile it was. The Mosquito was built as either a fighter bomber or photo reconnaissance aircraft, and each of those types had a number of their own variants. The Mosquito also performed a number of other roles including high-speed courier, weather reconnaissance, pathfinder and target marker for heavy bombers, trainer, target tug, and they were used in anti-ship and submarine attacks. With the Mosquito being able to perform all these different roles and missions, it was of course a very adaptable aircraft that could be fitted with a range of different armaments and equipment, like different types of radar, rockets, cameras, bombs, cannons and machine guns. Pathfinding variants used flares to mark targets for the heavy bomber formations, and some Mosquitoes were converted and modified to drop the high ball bouncing bomb, while other variants of the Mosquito weren't even armed at all, meaning they had to use its high speed and performance to evade enemy fighters. A couple great things are mentioned about the Mosquito in the photo reconnaissance role is that an RAF PR Mosquito in Burma set a twin-engine record on a mission when it covered 2,400 miles in under 9 hours, and the other great thing is that a PR Mosquito from 60 Squadron of the South African Air Force serving in Italy at the time unintentionally captured the first photo of Auschwitz concentration camp when on a mission to photograph German rubber factories. Like the Bristol Beaufighter, one role where the Mosquito was particularly successful was when being used as a night fighter. When they weren't successfully shooting down German night fighters, they were used as pathfinders, where they used flares to light up targets for the large heavy bomber squadrons. And a great fact about these pathfinders were that they also acted as a diversion or distraction and drew the German anti-aircraft and night fighters away from the Allied bombers. The night-fighting Mosquitoes would of course be well armed with both different types of radar and 420mm cannons, and some Mosquitoes even had rear warning radar installed, which helped detect pursuing enemy aircraft. Roles that the Mosquito excelled in were in low-level raids and precision attacks against specific targets, such as Gestapo headquarters. One of the best examples of a Mosquito precision attack occurred on the 30th of January in 1943, when 3 Mosquitoes attacked and knocked out the main Berlin broadcasting station on the 10th anniversary of Hitler being made Chancellor. This attack meant that the German people had to wait a lot longer than planned to hear speeches from both Hermann Goering and Joseph Goebbels, infuriating the Nazis in the process. One of the most famous, if not the most famous, low-level Mosquito raid of war was Operation Jericho, which was an attack on Amiens prison in February 1944. The Mosquito fighter bombers breached the walls and prison buildings and destroyed the guard barracks. Despite a number of prisoners getting killed in the attack, the raid allowed over 250 prisoners to escape, which included members of the French resistance and political prisoners. One thing we all know about the Mosquito was that it was made out of wood. The great things about the Mosquitoes being made out of wood was that it had similar structural properties as aluminium and steel, but at the same time wasn't considered a structural material, so this meant that there was plenty of wood always readily available. Plus he had plenty of craftsmen from different trades that knew what they were doing when it came to working with wood. The Mosquito's wooden airframe could absorb damage well and was easy to repair, plus its wooden airframe was harder to detect on radar than metal airframes. With the Mosquito being the highly useful aircraft it was, it would of course be used by many different air forces all over the world, both during and after the Second World War, including the United States, Australia, Canada, Israel, Sweden, Belgium, and even China, to name a few. Before I go, I just want to put out there that the Mosquito was just as important, if not more important, to the Allied war effort as what the Spitfire and Lancaster were. But I do personally feel that it doesn't get nowhere near enough credit as what the Spitfire, Lancaster, and even the Hurricane do. So with that in mind, I do think that the UK really needs an airworthy Mosquito. And that's it for this thrilling journey through the skies. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my aviation content, etc. Check out 2 videos at the end, all my CD reviews, or even playlists I've created. Cheers.